guys, and welcome back to another episode of Talkoffame podcast. I'm Kylie. Today is such an important episode and something that I know I struggle with, but also usually I struggle with as well. But we will kind of be diving into mental health with Uzi, who is almost 3 years into recovery and mental health advocate. Thank you so much, Uzi, for joining us for today's conversation and kind of like sharing a little bit of your story with us. It's much appreciated.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. So, like, I know, like, with you, like, you kind of dealt with some mental health stuff, but if people aren't familiar with your journey with mental health, like, how would you kind of explain, like, your mental health journey over the last couple of years?
So it started when I was really, really young, about the age of 6. I lost my grandpa on my dad's side. That's the first grandparent I think I've ever lost. Yeah, from my first grandparent. And at the time, like 6 years old, your mind and your body as a kid, you don't understand. Like you understand there's something happening, but you don't understand like what happened because at the age of 6, how do you explain to like 7 to 8 kids that their grandfather is gone and he's not coming back? Like
Mhm.
you can't really explain that. And I think as time went on, I lost my second grandpa the day of my 8th grade graduation, and I wasn't told because they wanted me to attend my graduation because they thought that was more important than my grandpa's death. And I found out actually when I was at daycare, I was on my phone, and because of who my family is, it was on YouTube and it was all over the news. And that's how I found out. And I remember like asking myself, like I called my dad. I asked my daycare teacher, I'm like, hey, can I make an emergency phone call? Because technically it was an emergency. So I called, I'm like, hey dad, you didn't tell me anything. Like, why aren't you telling me anything? What's happening? Like, what's going on with grandpa? Where is he? What's going on? And like as a kid at 13, you're like, yeah, you know what that is, but like you don't expect like the day you're supposed to graduate middle school and move on to high school that you'll be losing someone you love so dearly, like a second dad. And my grandpa was my second dad because he raised me when I was about one, I think about 3 or 4 years old. He raised me. So I think in that circumstance, there's like so many people that are like people don't understand that like losing a grandparent, it's like really hard
Mm-hmm.
because that traumatized me, but I was emotionally numb at that age. So like I didn't really understand. And I didn't understand. I just kind of like roll off my back and be strong for like everyone in the family and my cousins. Like I wanted to be there for them. I didn't want anyone there for me because I didn't like think I needed that support because I as a kid like I was like I can't cry, I can't be sad, like I didn't know him long enough. Like I did, but like you want to be strong for your family and your friends and your like extended family because they're going through tough times just like you are. And then but after that, I think 3 or 4 years later, I lost my grandma, and that sent me actually spiraling downwards because I was not talking about any of this. And my grandma died, and a couple months later, I think it was 4 months, was it? 3 months later, I had a mental health crisis because I was not talking about the way I was feeling hurt, and like I felt betrayed because they died and they left me here on earth by myself. Because that's how like felt at that moment, and they were super hard on me. And then I finally decided, like my family, like decided I should get some help because I was really struggling with it, like internally, and I was crying every night. I was crying myself to sleep. I was not able to sleep. I would look up at the night sky and I just like wonder like what they would think of me. Would it, like I always wanted their approval because they always like they taught me that I'm a strong person and that I'm gonna be someone someday, and like they're the people that believed me when I didn't know what it was. And they always told me like I'm gonna be something big. I'm gonna make great memories. I'm gonna like change the world. And like at that age, it's like you don't really know what you're getting your life into because you're only 13 years old. And after getting some help, I'm still getting help, but it does fade away. But it's not that it like totally goes away because truly it does not go away as much as you want it to. For me, it's like some days I actually have my grandpa and my grandma's pillows and blankets I brought back from overseas to sleep with because that's why I sleep with at night because it comforts me. I like ask my parents, I'm like, would my grandparents be proud of me? What do they think of me? What do you think they would say? What do you think they would want me to do in this situation?
Hmm.
because I'm used to like asking them everything. And now I only have one grandma from my dad's side, and then I'm my great grandpa on my dad's side. So it's like having those two grandparents really helped. And I think then right after my grandma passed away last year, last February actually, my grandpa's one of his brothers passed away, and it like felt like another stab in the back in a way, like a stab, like you don't know that's happening. And I think my grandpa's brother passing away, the one that passed away before my grandpa passed away, that one I didn't understand. Like I knew he was gone, but like certain people don't affect you more than others, I think. And even though I was close with him and I do have memories and I get told memories, I was close with him, but like I was super young. So like you don't have that like strong connection like as you're growing up. You build bigger bonds and you're stronger, like how do I explain it? When you're older, you have like a tighter bond and you understand like the humanity, you understand how to build those connections with each other. And I think my grandpa's brother that passed away this February, I think it happened the day I actually had therapy that morning. Shocker. I don't know how that happened, but it was a coincidence. I woke up, my dad walked in, and usually he comes in if I haven't woken up by like about therapy that morning. I like to be woken up beforehand so I can get ready. And I remember him walking in, so I was like, okay, yeah, it's time to get like up and stuff like that. And then I went on Facebook and it says my grandpa's on a ventilator. And I paused. I'm like, so I go to all my other extended family's Facebook and it says he's on a ventilator. There was like no update. Like I didn't see the updates because they weren't working on my Facebook. So it's completely crashed. So my dad comes into my room. I'm like, is he still on a ventilator? Is my grandpa still on a ventilator? He's like, he's dead. And like I think I cried. Honestly don't remember what I said or did, but I think I cried. And I like went on my phone and I texted every single family member. I spam texted, I spam called, and then I like mentally could not put myself together into like any piece at all. And I remember getting onto my computer like I am right now and being on therapy, and my eyes just like balled up, and I could not speak. I literally could not speak because I guess my body didn't understand what was happening. And my therapist goes, Uzi, are you okay? Like, are you like, are you good? Because she knows like when I'm good, when I'm not. So she's like, are you okay? And I just got bawling, and I'm just like, no. And I remember us talking about it, and I wasn't allowed to go to school. I wasn't able to do schoolwork. Unfortunately, I was off for like 3, 4 days. She told me that I need to relax and watch some TV and like take care of myself, go take a shower, go back to sleep. And like she like said, don't worry about it. I'll contact your university and teachers and stuff like that to let them know like this is happening so you can like have a couple of like mental days to yourself and like understand what's happening. So I think that really helped me and like the healing process because my grandma on my dad's side has always been there, and I think she always like she's like my like person to go to. Like she's my rock. Like she like tells me I can do anything I put my mind to. I can do anything I want to if I'm willing to work hard at it. She knows the things that I love, like advocacy. I put my all into it. Like this is my heart. Like, this is what I'm meant to do in my life. And things I hate doing, I will not do. I will do it, but I will not put my full heart into it. And it'll be like a half baked project. And I think from that it just like stemmed into like the healing process of just like it never goes away, but like you don't remember it as much.
Yeah, like you're right in that. I'm so sorry everything that happened. Like losing a grandparent, like it can be just a tragic, you know what I mean? It's just like when I lost my grandma back in 2017, I was probably 10, I think I was like 10 to about to turn 11. And I remember at that point that I was heartbroken. And I'm still heartbroken to this day, but I don't want to talk about
Yeah,
it. Is that like I'm still heartbroken every time the anniversary comes of her death each year.
yeah.
It always like I always bawl myself to like in my like, I always bawl because I'm just like why it's real like it just like
Why
one
did
of
it
those
happen?
emotions from that day like from the time of death just comes back on that
Like you
like
remember
day.
everything. Like even like the day like when the anniversary comes around, and like if you remember exactly what happened that day, like I
Mm,
do, some for some reason, it's like you don't want to remember what happened that day. You want to remember the person,
mm.
but you don't want to remember the event of that day that happened. Because
Yeah, like,
I had to be the strong person for my cousins. I had to break the news to them over the phone. Was that fun? No, because they didn't believe me until like I got in a group chat. And like I agree with you, like it never goes away. Yeah, like it gets better with time, but it's never
mm,
like gonna go away. It's gonna stick with
yeah,
you. Like I have
yeah.
a picture, I think, right here. This was when they were still alive.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah. So I still have this picture. It's one of my favorite pictures in my room. I have a couple more, but that one's my favorite because I made it for my grandma and my grandpa. For Valentine's Day, I made him a heart card when I was, I think, 6 or 7. I made them like a heart card. And you know, after they pass away, like you clean their room and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
like I opened his my grandparents' closet, one of the drawers, and right there in the middle, like smack dab in the middle, I'm not even kidding, like in the middle was a card I made for them. And my jaw dropped. I'm like, they still have it. They had that card for me. Like there was no other card. It was literally my heart with my name on it. Like you know how like as a kid you have like the uppercase and the lowercase and the uppercase
Mhm.
and the lowercase, and I
Yeah.
knew my handwriting and it was smack dab in the middle, and I'm just like, my grandpa kept it.
Out of all things, like he
Hmm.
kept that thing
He
out.
kept it in that drawer with the keys and other stuff he had that were important. Because I was the first grandchild on my mom's side. So it was like right there. And I remember calling my mom over. I'm like, look what I found. And my mom was like, oh my God. I'm like, he kept it. Like, it's still a shock to me that today. I like told the story so many times. He had that card, and like, my uncle, I remember telling me, like, yeah, we still have that card. And like, that card just means so much to me. And it's, I don't know. It makes me so happy to know that he had it till he died.
I love that. Like it's like always good to know like your grandparents kept something that like you had. Like I remember like from when I was at my grandma's house, they sold like after she passed away, they sold the house. But when we still had that house, they would like she had one of my school pictures of me and my brother,
Uh,
and she had it like I think on top of her TV or like right next to it. And I just remember walking in and it'd be like, you see my picture. And she kept me, so we gave her my school picture. I think it was from like, my guess, maybe first or second grade, maybe my guess, around that time. And she kept it every time I walked in. It would be there. But I don't know who has it now. I don't know who has it now, to be honest with
Me
you.
neither. I don't know who has the card now. I just know because they cleaned out their room because they moved. Like my younger uncle, like my mom's younger brother, has the top of the house, and my mom's older brother has the bottom of the house. So, like
Mhm.
they cleaned out like the my grandparents' room. So like I don't know who has what.
Yeah,
I know
me
we
either.
still
Like the only
have
thing I have is like a little thing she made when she was in the nursing home and one of the blankets she made before her health problems. That's like the only thing I have. I like a
the
jewelry
only
box.
things that I have are the two blankets, the white and green blanket, and then a green and red blanket. And I think I have maybe one or two other things. I do have my dad's handkerchief, not dad's, my grandpa's handkerchief that I used to play with. And my mom and my dad said they're gonna saving it until I'm getting married. They're gonna save it and then give it to me when I'm married because that's something I want to like wear on my ankle or something like that to like remember my grandpa. So they
Oh.
have that until I'm getting married. So I think that's really special for me. I like
Mm.
ask about it. I'm like, can I have it now? Can I have it now? Because I'm like, you want that piece with you because like your parents. But at the same time, it's like such a special piece. You have to like wait to like
Mm.
hold.
Yeah, it's like a moment where like, can I just get married now? Like, please?
Yeah, I like ask my grandparents. I'm like, is there anything else that's left? I'm like, I want more, and I don't know why. I do it, and it's like
Yeah. And what are some things that you did kind of get through that recovery of losing a grandparent into that process?
I think like a lot of crying, a lot of talking in therapy, a lot of like being around family and like talking to them. Like spending some time with them and like connecting with my cousins, making sure I'm spending time with my cousins and like being around like the people that they used to love and like being open and honest, I guess, about it. And not that like you don't look back, but like you tend to like live for them technically.
Hmm.
Or, like you my grandmother always had the dream of like me graduating college, me getting my first car, me driving, me moving, me getting married. Like this, everything I'm doing right now, like everything in my life, like everything, literally everything. This was my grandparents' dream. So right now, I'm technically living my grandparents' dream, which means a lot to me.
Yeah, definitely. Like living like your grandparents' dream they have for you, this like makes it like you think like, oh my gosh, like I'm not doing this for myself, but I'm also doing it for my loved ones that want me to do this as a
Yep.
living.
'Cause I think they always like told me what they wanted, and it's weird to like now like them not be here, but like living it, you know? You're like,
Hmm.
well, this is what your grandparents wanted for you. And I think I have certain roles in the family that I have to keep and I try to uphold. And like, it's just weird that like I'm at this age now and it's I'm so in awe to them. It's like, whoa, this is what my grandparents were talking about. Like, this is what they meant.
Yeah, it's like it just becomes very weird. Like for when your family member had like a dream for you and they're not there to kind of live that dream with you.
Yeah, I'll like look out my window, I'll open my blinds and I'll be like, Grandma, Grandpa, if you're listening and watching, you're welcome. And I wish you were here to see me grow up because
Hmm.
I still like to say I wish they watched me grow up because it's been really special like having them in my life and it's like my grandparents were literally my everything because I
Hmm.
think it was they because of who they were really well known overseas so like I would be spoiled basically. I don't think for myself spoiled but like in a way I was spoiled so like it's like your grandparents gave you the world basically like every grandparent I believe gives their grandchild the world. And I think I was given that world by them, and it was like hard not having that. And then I think my grandma does her best, my great grandpa, to give me the world still, and they do every single day. And it's
Hmm.
like nice to like talk to them, be like, "This is what I'm doing." They're like asking the same questions, and I'll answer. And I'm just like, "Yeah, college is great, Gucci." Like they ask me like, "How's driving?" I'm like,
It's
and
going
it's a good thing.
good.
Yeah, like before I got my license in August, they really asked me like, "Have you your license yet? Have you been driving? Have you been driving? How's driving?" And I'm just like, "Grandma, calm down." Like, she's like, "You need to be an independent child." I'm like, "Grandma, I'm working on it. Thank you, but I'm working on it."
Yeah,
I
it's
think
like
now she's
everything's
like,
I got this. Like I'm working on it.
cause like I used to like be scared of driving, and then my grandma was like, "Anytime you feel scared, take it, close your eyes, take a deep breath before you drive, and think about me, and I'm always there with you when you're driving." I don't know if that was like my biggest motivator to like get my license, and now I'm getting a car that's coming this week, and my grandma's like so excited, my like cousins, I'm just like, bro, it's just a car and it's just a license. It's not like for them it means the world, so like I'll do anything to make them happy. So
Yeah, that's the most important thing. Do you think social media can like impact our recovery or mental health?
for me, definitely, I feel like it depends to person because everyone is different. Everyone copes differently. Everyone sees things differently and in different ways. And we can't really note that. We only know ourselves. And I feel like I've said this on one or two other podcasts. Social media is a highlight reel of people's life.
Oh
Very
yeah.
few people put the bad times on social media, but like mostly, probably 99% of social media is just all like everyone living the best life, not putting the worst moments on there. Some of my friends and mental health advocates like me, we put up our best and worst moments on there, whereas other people don't. So it just really depends on person to person.
Oh, 100%. Like with social media, it can like really like damage people's mental health. Is like when people like post like their best lives on social media, or if it's like an influencer or just one of your friends regularly, it can like make you just upset, thinking like, why can I live their life like that?
Yep.
Or why can't I be pretty like them? Like it just makes you kind of like less self.
Like you can compare, like, I wish I had that, or I wish I was doing this right now instead of being depressed, whatever not. And I think my therapist always reminded me, like, social media is just like the good times, and it's like social media, I tend to put my good and my bad times on there because my therapist always reminds me be authentic. So it's like I'm trying to be the best authentic self I can possibly be. And I think having my friends put their good and bad times too really helps me. And it's like social media isn't just all like the good times. Like the people that do are just being social media influencers big time. And I think people that put like their true selves on social media are the type of friends that I have that like put good and bad times and that advocate for mental health over social media. And I think literally more than half my friends are advocates. That's who I'm friends with, and I think that's who I like surround myself with.
Mhm.
And like I tend to like I can't talk to people that are fake or like are two-faced because I wasn't raised like that. I don't like that. I just don't appreciate that. It's just not
Mhm.
my energy. It like kills the energy, kills the
Yeah.
vibes.
Yeah, exactly. And you were currently in a process of writing a book. Like, what can you kind of say
Yeah.
about that?
So I started a podcast and I'm writing a book about my life and I want to get it done by 2024, the end of 2024, like December. I want to be done with it because I graduate next December. So I want to like finish my book and my book by then so I can release it and publish and release it before I move Florida to like do an internship. And I'm gonna continue with my podcast even when I'm in Florida. I'm hopefully taking my podcast stuff. I'll see what I can take.
Mhm.
Um, but I definitely am working on my book, but it's also like super busy in my own life because I'm putting like everything like it's hard sometimes to like remember every single thing that's happened or event in your life. So you
Mhm.
kind of have to like remember it. And it's like okay, so this happens. So I'll type it down, and then like if I remember something, I'll like take it day by day, type it, and then like I have to go through and proofread it, and I'm just like, okay, this sounds good. Move on to the next page. What's the next thing that's happened? Describe it, thought it, rephrase, edit it, next, and so on.
Ooh, that sounds so exciting. Like, if you need help with that, let me know. I'd love to help
I
out. Like,
will.
I'm super excited for this. I'll probably be your first buyer, though.
My
But
parents, I kept asking them like, when can I publish it? When can I publish it? Like, once you don't do book, we can find a publisher. That is not a problem. And
yeah.
like, I think they are excited about it because I'm excited about it, and they know this is something I truly want. Like, this is something I want, and it's like when I want something, I want it so badly, I will do anything to like get it done.
I'm the same way too. Like it's like when something I want to do so bad, like I literally beg and do whatever I can to get that thing. Because I'm like, I don't know why, but like when I want something so bad, I just get obsessed with it.
You'll do anything.
Yeah. I just get obsessed and like I think I don't care how much money or what I have to do to get this. I'll literally pay all the money I have from work or whatever I do to get this thing. I don't care how long
You
it
know,
takes.
that's how I used to do with gymnastics. Like you want something so bad, I would literally spend birthday, like other people's birthday, my birthday, um, weekends, holidays, days I had off. I would spend the time in the gym.
Yeah,
I would
exactly.
not like I could not breathe if I did not go to the gym. Like I had to go to the gym. Like
Mm.
like you can ask my parents. My parents are like, can you take a day off? Can you take 2 days off? I'm like, you know me my whole life. What is wrong with you? I will not take a
Yeah,
day
I'm
off.
like when I'm like so busy doing stuff and like when I have like a day off of not like don't have school or something or a weekend or like don't have anything going on, you can see me literally always working and doing things. Like
Yep.
I'm always on the grind. They're like Kylie, like, do you think you want to take a break? You're overworking yourself. I'm like, I'm kind of tired, but I
I want
kind
to
of
keep going.
yeah, I kind of
Yeah,
want to
that's
work.
why I'm into advocacy. My parents are like, can't you take a break? Can't you reschedule the meeting? Can't you reschedule the recording? I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. This
Like
is
I'm
what I
not gonna
like.
reschedule unless something happens. Like I'm sick, some
Exactly.
like I'll actually have something to reschedule for.
Because it's when you're passionate about something this big, it's like you want to do it. Like you will do anything to do it. Like
Mm,
my dad, I think he's in the other room right now. He tried calling me and I hung up because this is what I want to do. Because I even told him like I have a meeting, like I'm busy, I have a recording. So it's like
mm,
you kind of have to be like, this is what I want. Like I want this. I think
mm.
my parents like get behind it when they see like I want it so badly, and like my cousins and everyone see it. Like this is what she wants. Like this is like what she's made for.
Exactly. And last thing I want to ask you before we hop off is, what is some advice to people that are kind of like dealing or struggling with mental health?
I think that it's okay to talk about it. I say this in every podcast, but that it's okay to not be okay. It's okay to like go to therapy, talk to friends, family, adults, teachers, like talking about your mental health because you don't have to like hide it because like it's not something to be embarrassed about. It's actually because like people are strong enough to like admit that they need help like I did. It took me 18 years, but I finally did it. And I think it feels so good afterwards and you just like you feel so relieved, like your body feels relieved, your mind feels relieved. And I think you like family would be so much more happier for you. And I feel like a lot of people don't realize that and it's like that it's okay to like talk about that stuff and it's like not something to be embarrassed about.
Exactly. Like that is something personally I struggle with is that like I felt like it was embarrassing to deal with mental health, but it's not at the same time as I grew older. So like it's not embarrassing to be struggling with mental health. Like everyone struggles with mental health in some way, you know? Like everyone has anxiety. Like,
Yeah.
like of course every journey is different, but you shouldn't be afraid to be dealing with mental health or should be talking about it. It's such an important topic and there's so many people that care about you that want to know how you're feeling really.
Yep. I agree. My cousin sometimes has to remind me like we're here, like you can tell us anything and like so like having that support around you is really also based on that, also having a good support system really could help you. Like having a
Yes.
good support system around you and like having people you trust. That's a big thing for me.
That is same for me as well because I know like with having a big support system for what you do is a main factor. And I know for me, if I didn't have a support system, I wouldn't be doing that what I'm doing
Yeah,
right now with you.
same
Like I
here.
wouldn't be doing what I do in life if it wasn't for a support system.
Yep, me too.
And that is literally the perfect way to wrap up today's episode of the podcast. I really appreciate everyone for listening, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And I hope people that are dealing with mental health or kind of want to learn about what our journeys are like with mental health to kind of take in a little bit and how our journeys can impact other people. If it does, feel free to reach out to me or comment. My social medias are linked below, or feel free to reach out to her. Like, where can people connect with you on social media if they want to connect
Yep,
with
yep.
you? And if I hope everyone has a great rest of your day. And thank you so much, Izzy, for coming on. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, have a great rest of your day.
You too.